if we have an idea that is to the disadvantage of the planet. We are way too powerful to deserve this planet. Okay. Hello, dear friends. Good morning. Such a beautiful, beautiful morning. Bright sunshine, blue sky. That is California. And so this autumn time, I had my fall break. So we had, my family, we had a field trip. And the springtime, we had a field trip about Oregon, the Northern California and Oregon and Portland. And I was very impressed, and I found it really fun. So I wanted to continue. So this time we did from our home in Silicon Valley to Las Vegas. And we planned to drive through the desert, the Sierra Nevada mountains, Central Valley, and drive through the California desert. And we drove and drove. When I came out of, when I went out of our home, I was wearing T-shirt, summer pants, and it's warm and sunshine. And we stayed overnight at yanghaiying, and the next morning, right here, we are driving another 10 miles or half an hour or something. We came to a place that is quite to my surprise. And the sunshine was still bright sunshine, and it was very, very cold, very windy, not yet so windy as we drove. And there was nothing. There was no building, there was no trees, there was no construction, there was no sign of life, and mostly stone and rocks, and big, huge rocks or small rocks, and some very dried desert plant, but nothing else. And we drove for miles and finally arrived to this place. Okay, so Bodie, this place is called Bodie. Bodie is a ghost town, and it's in Mono County. If you have like myself, have no idea where this place is, it's kind of in the on the east side is Sierra Nevada mountain, and on the left side is the Pacific Ocean mountain ridge. It's in the center of it. It's not too far from Death Valley, Yosemite, Lake Tahoe, Nevada, not so far away from this place. It's in the middle, almost in the middle of nowhere. And it's a ghost town. It had its blooming time, and now it is all gone. People have left, and it is forgotten until now. I am making the video. No, not me. It is forgotten until California in the 1960s, 1950, it was declared a ghost town, a decline. And the 1940s, 60s, about 50, 70 years ago, they started to build as a national historical site in the National Historic Registration, and the state of California has preserved this place as a national historical park. And as I am here right now during the government shutdown, federal government shutdown, so this is a state park, California State Park. It is still open. We got in. We paid our parking. There are people working there making some guidance, but we have we came here mostly as a self-guided tour, so we didn't take any guided. We didn't need. We didn't apply to get a tour guide or something, and it's still open. And it's cold. It's so very cold. I wear my T-shirt. I wear my sun protection. I wear my jersey. I wear my dudun. Everything as much as I can. Glove and heavy socks and big pants, and still cold. I remember a few years ago, during exactly the same time, I went to Montreal in California, in Canada, and it was not that cold. But today it's so cold, so windy, so very windy. And how windy do I say it? My hair is swirling around everywhere, and cold, freezing cold. So come back to Bodie, and as the coldness is kind of adding into this story, into the feeling of this place. So Bodie used to be called Bodie, Bodey, and there were some people call it Bodie, and finally it is nailed at the name of Bodie, Bodie. If you are interested, you can go there, and it's really very interesting. And for me, it is not only interesting, it is thought-provoking. At the end of this video, I will talk about how I think about it, how I reflect on this place. So here is a little bit of what I have found through the trip and coming back, searching the library, searching online, got some information about this place. So 1848, 49, 49er. Yeah, you know the 49er, a sports team is called 49er. That's typical California. 1848, 49, this period, California found gold in a sawmill in Sutter. In California, they found gold, and Marshall, right? Marshall found gold. And they just look for gold everywhere in the West. And Bodie, this place, also found gold. But there were only two stamp mills, that work on it. So it really never got boomed. So it's kind of a failure at the beginning. But in 18 1876, around 20 years later, there was one big company, Standard Company, and they rediscovered this place and found a vein of gold. So I did not know the word vein of gold, so I searched online. Vein, V-E-I-N, is very much like our blood vein. You just imagine in our body there are these blood veins, blood tubes, blood lines. And they found on the Earth's body there are these kind of blood veins, if we say gold veins. And in this area there is one of these gold veins. So they started to discover this place 1876. And the Standard Company start to build their mills, their stamp mills, a kind of a digging, mining equipment, big equipment start to come in. And within 2 or 3 years, this place used to be 0, 10, 20, 50 people, a very few population. Within 3 years' time, it swelled to 10,000 residents. 8,000, 9,000, up to 10,000 residents. So you can imagine it's really it's a sudden booming. When you call a booming town, that is the image of booming town. And in this place, there are about 2,000 buildings, small house. And as you can see here, small houses scattered there. There are only something like 20, 50 small houses, but 2,000 like this old house, like these old constructions. And the factory is within walking distance, 10, 20 minutes. And then there is a quarter, downtown quarter, living quarter. Living and downtown is relatively close by. And there are Chinese quarter. There are kind of Chinatown. A lot of Chinese gold miners came here. And they are the most famous for the saloon. And it is said that this place has the most condensed saloon, bar and saloon density, almost the most condensed. And red light district, prostitute, anyway, a booming town. Whatever you can imagine is there. There is a gun, there is newspaper, there is killing, there is wrongdoing, there is drunk wine, violence, everything about a boom town. So in 10 years, this place, in 3 years, this place, Bodie, from nobody, nothing, became a huge, almost one of the biggest city in California. Number 2, number 3, number 4, something like it. Maybe it's according to legend, but it is suddenly swelled very much. And then another 10 years passed. The gold has finished. They have finished digging all the gold. This place start to decline. And the people left. Nothing there. Now we see there is a cimetière, There used to be school. People came here, and we have visited one house. Seems quite elegant, and in 200 years earlier, 160 years before, in the middle of nowhere, there is bed, there is a chimney, and it was and the baby house. It was maybe the manager's room, quite a good life in comparison with that time. And legend had that there was a prostitute, Rosemary, and she served the men there, and also she was kind of helping people when there was a plague. She was taking care of people, and as good as Florence Nightingale, the international nurse, first person, international nurse days. What do I say? International Nurse Day's symbol or initiator. So she was she took care a lot of men there. But when she died, she was not even buried in the community cemetery. She was outside the community cemetery because she was a prostitute. And so that is very much what we are seeing right now, the remaining of that place. There used to be newspaper, there used to be drugstore, and bars and drinks, and the community room, and opium den, because Chinese, there was a small Chinatown, and there were opium dens, and just seeing it totally destroyed, seeing that this place is got deserted, ruined. It makes me to think, for all the animals, living things in this world, only human can make such a big scale production, use of the land. And only human can damage, can disturb the land in such a scale. And human are you and I. We are good people. We can be good people. But once we are possessed by greed, we have the ultimate ability to destroy our planet. And if we decide not to destroy, we have the ability to recover our land. And we have the most powerful will, power, and ability to reconstruct our planet. So this place, a lot of the house, a lot of the buildings, the little house, are totally in a decaying stage, and some looks like falling apart. And we asked, and we read the description of the state park. And the state park has a philosophy, or particularly for this place, their philosophy is keep it as it is, as much as possible. Not to overdo it, not to restore it. Let it be. Let nature take its course. And it's just something heavy in me when seeing this. I just feel our human can be anything. But once we are possessed with an idea, this idea, if it is a good idea, is a beneficiary idea for our planet. We make this plan. We make this planet beautiful, livable, lovable. If we have an idea that is to the disadvantage of the planet, we are way too powerful to deserve this planet. Thank you very, very much. I love you. I really do. Do. Goodbye. Bye.